Hey there, Charles Gossett with Full Integration Coaching, and so glad that you could join me for this series of videos on recovering purpose. In my coaching practice, I do two things. The first is I'm a life purpose coach, or just a purpose coach. In this role, I help people define more purpose and meaning in their lives, whether that's the purpose of a lifetime or the purpose for this time in life. That can be a variety of different folks. So these are people that maybe they're looking for their big life purpose, or maybe they're just looking to add more purpose into their life at this time. So these folks could be in a transition of any kind. They may feel a lack of motivation, or they're in a transition. I work with a lot of leaders from around town and across the country. And then I also work with people that are just doing everyday life. Second, I'm an addiction recovery coach. And these can be addictions of all types: substance use disorders, compulsive behaviors, process addictions, etc. So generally, these folks have come through clinical treatment very often, are in a process of healing, and are ready to find out what's next in their life. That also comes with a lot of purpose in the way that I coach. Also, I work with folks that are sober curious, that maybe they're before that addiction has taken place and they're looking to taper and add more meaning into their life and substitute behaviors for something else. Regardless, what we're going to talk about today is something that's near and dear to me and core to the way that I coach, and that's purpose. Specifically, why it's important to a life of recovery. First of all, what is purpose? Lots of definitions out there. I like to keep it pretty simple. The way that I like to define purpose is that it's anything that brings more meaning and fulfillment into your life. Anything that brings more meaning and fulfillment into your life. Generally, it's something that makes you want to get out of bed in the morning or to continue to go through tough times and staying focused on a vision or a mission. So, when it comes to recovery, this can be very, very simple. It can be simply staying sober one day at a time. That's purpose. There's a motivation underlying that sense of purpose. And what is that for you? If that's your sense of purpose, not going back to the way that it was, finding out the way that life might be different, or to continue to grow and find additional purpose in your life. So that's very common in early recovery. As a person in long-term recovery myself, that's still part of my purpose. As of the February of 2022, I celebrated 16 years of continuous sobriety. So if you're early on in the game and are wondering if it's possible for you, I was one that didn't think it was possible for me. But I surrounded myself with people that were successful in recovery, which is a big part of purpose. We can't find purpose really in and of ourselves. It takes working together and being connected with other people, places, and things. And then from there, they showed me another way to live. Big part of my journey is Alcoholics Anonymous and 12-step meetings. And there in the 12 steps, I learned how to have another view of myself and to begin to get rid of a lot of the shame and the guilt and the damage that I had done and do my best to make things right. And that's an important piece of purpose too that we'll get into in our next video when it comes to values. So purpose can be very, very simple, just staying sober one day at a time, which is huge if you ask me. But it can also be much more. For many of us, we get sober and we're sober a while and we wonder, well, what else can I do? And it can be finding out about who you are and how you're wired and becoming your best self. That can be purpose. Or it can be a sense of mission or cause or a calling in life. So maybe you want to make the world a better place in some measurable way. Or maybe you want to volunteer some of your time to a cause that you care about. It can even be a hobby. Maybe you used to play the guitar, or you used to paint or play sports, and you dropped that for a while addiction took its place. Purpose can come through in hobbies as well. So regardless of what purpose is to you, it's important to recovery because purpose is often the thing that is missing when we're in active addiction. Purpose really becomes about the substance that our brains and bodies are demanding and asking us to use. or the compulsive behaviors that our brains and bodies are asking us to engage in. So purpose often takes a back seat in terms of what really matters most to us. And the drugs, the alcohol, the sex, the gambling, the whatever it is, takes the place of purpose. So if you're in recovery, what I invite you to do at the end of this video, take a minute and really consider, what is purpose to me? And how do I want to get more purpose into my life? How can I do that? In our next videos, we'll take a closer look. After you take about a minute to do that, scroll down to the next video and we'll talk about values.